Hello and welcome to Bendy Presents, the movie test of time, a podcast about revisiting our youth through the only medium that matters, the movies. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young, and I am one of your sprinting, momentous hosts. Joining me as always is our other sprinting and momentous host, Beth Martin. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
I like your new intro. You like did actual work.
I had, and, as I was started to read it there, I was like, should I stop the recording and run it by Beth first? And I was like, I'll
No,
just launch into
surprise,
it.
surprise, confetti.
Like I should have, let's retroactively. Are we getting a heart? Yeah, because there's
Yeah,
the
no.
video, yeah, can give us hearts. And anyway,
Zoom, yeah, gives you emojis now
it
or
does give you
whatever.
emojis now.
Yeah, I
So
like it. I like it.
let's retroactively apply that to last week's as well. So yeah. But yeah,
We do what we want, or
we
not at
do
all.
what we want when we want. We I do what I want. Okay.
I'm
So Beth,
excited
what?
about this topic. What's the crack?
Yeah.
The crack is I'm still sick. Um,
Boo.
It's kind of bummed, man. I got strep throat. I've got a cold. I'm allergic to the antibiotics. And
Hmm.
I'll tell you, it's not been pleasant. I've never been, it's like amoxicillin, right? Do you guys have that? It's like the most basic antibiotic, and now like my body can't handle it anymore.
Okay.
So it's like, Mike's like, what did you do to yourself in New York? And I'm like, I had fun. And now I'm being punished for it again. So I'm in that like spiral of like, I can't, like, I've been in bed
Uh-huh.
again. I'm tired, like, sick, right? But
Yeah.
also, like, it's my fault, but it's not. Like, you're allowed to go and have fun. And I'm bummed out that I'm sick.
I totally hear you. Like I have definitely found recent sort of fun things or trips away that I have paid for them, and
Yeah.
it sucks because like I really think those things are important. And I don't know whether it's just because I'm getting old. Maybe it is, And it's not always necessarily related to like it's not drink. Oh, I mean it has been at least once, but like, not all the time. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, how disappointing.
It is. It is. We also had another little earthquake.
Ooh.
So it was like a 3.7, and it was
Hmm.
like, it's kind of like, you get the garbage trucks that drive by, and that's like, you feel the vibration, but you don't feel it through the whole house, like a big giant jolt. And I was home with my son, and Mike and Harper were down having dinner with friends because he and I both got strep. So no fun for us. And I'm a horrible mom because I'm like, I bring home subway diseases. So he was just like panicking and sobbing. And he's like, is it going to happen again? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, is there going to be one tomorrow? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
it's true.
trying to, like it's, like it wasn't that big, but he spirals. So
Yeah.
yeah, the crack is just, like things are good. Like the kids, like Harper just started musical theater, dance class, they're doing jujitsu. Like they're both like, we're having a Charlie's birthday party this weekend. But I'm just like, I don't know. I just want to enjoy this shit and not be like, I gotta do this,
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, my body is just fucking tired.
Yeah. 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 That sucks.
So
I
yeah.
hope it
So
doesn't
I'm
last
in
for
I'm
too
in
long.
that headspace. So fun. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know that I've got much better to report, honestly. I,
Yay, be miserable with
hey,
me.
yeah. It's a pity party over here.
Woohoo.
Um, so because I was on about a little bit before the podcast started that um I think I might have mentioned that on the podcast before, but I have been like having conversations with there's a company that, an organization, I should say, that helps you set up kind of new business. And I'm looking at starting a new venture at the minute. I won't talk about it too much, what that is exactly, but
It's a good idea, and
it
people
is a good
steal.
idea. I think it has potential, but I'm struggling to find the energy to like do anything with it because my days are so packed already. I have no energy. I've got no energy left to give to anything. And it's kind of frustrating, but I am, you know, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the next few weeks bring. I think I need a bit of downtime. And we'll see A, if I get that, and B, if it's, fruitful in terms of giving me a bit of like an energy boost. Um, but and like another thing as well is that I think certainly the financial toll of the summer has kicked in. I
Mm.
am now entering a period that has been officially labeled austerity August. No, not austerity August, austerity autumn. That may go into austerity winter as well.
Uh-huh.
Very possibly. So yeah, so like there hasn't been a lot happening. Things that I did want to talk about though, that I thought you might quite enjoy was I started watching the Charlie Sheen documentary. I don't know if you've
Oh my God,
seen.
me too.
Yeah, I've
Oh
only
my
seen
God.
the first episode, so
Okay. I watched it twice because I was just like, what did I just watch?
yeah,
And then I'm like, it's something else.
it really is. It's
Something else.
kind of why because like I started watching it, I was like, oh shit, has something happened to him? Is this why there's a documentary? And it's like, no, he decided to do a documentary.
Yeah, he's 60.
Yeah. 7 years sober, which I didn't realize, which is this is good work, you know.
Yeah, now 8 because I think they recorded it last year.
Oh, that
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, um, yeah, I really like, he's done some really messed up stuff
Hmm.
in his life and has hurt a lot of people around him. But I feel like it was interesting just to hear like from him, but also like through the lens of his friends, like John
Yes.
Cryer, Sean Penn. Like I didn't know that all these guys like grew up in Malibu together and were just like running around with the Super
Yeah.
8. Like that was cool. Um, Martin Sheen is like, I don't know. I liked him already and I had respect for him already, but like as a parent, he really worked really hard
Yes. It sounds like it.
to keep his son alive. So I'm not going to give anything away because I mean he's still alive. So, but
True.
yeah, he's
It is kind of interesting, and it's like, it kind of makes the point in the first episode. It's like if you are in a movie and,
yeah,
ostensibly in the starring role of a movie that wins Best Picture Oscar and you're 20,
yes,
that's that's going to give anybody like a colossal ego and make you think you're fairly untouchable, and
yeah,
and I think it just kind of spiraled from there basically.
yeah.
But very interesting and definitely worth a look.
Well, I'm
Uh,
excited to hear what you think of part two, and then we can discuss
okay, awesome.
discuss it
Now,
next week.
hopefully have it watched for next week. Um, I have also been playing. So, like, I don't know if I told you there's a board game I've been playing a cooperative board game with my girlfriend called Time
Mm.
Stories. And
Mm-hmm. Okay.
how Time Stories essentially works is it's like a deduction game, and
Okay.
you basically are time travelers. You're sent back in time, and you have to solve like cases and things like that. You get to
So
take
it's like
multiple
Clue, but different.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I like they've got like settings that are like themed around, I guess, both actual historical things and also like sci-fi movies. Like there's one that's kind of based around the thing. There's one that's set in the 90s that's like a zombie outbreak style thing, which could be, any number of movies. But the one we've been playing is interesting because it's a like a movie kind of. It's basically loosely based on the killings that happened. I'm gonna forget the name of the actor or the director. It was the director it was Sharon Tate, whose was
Yeah.
his girlfriend at the time, was murdered
Yes.
by it's
Roman Polanski.
Roman Polanski, thank you. And it's kind of lusty. Basically, you go to the 80s and they're having this seance about this thing that happened back then, and then you're transported through the seance back in time again. And it was like it was interesting and it was a cool sort of story to play through. It was like this one feels very close to the knuckle. Like, really close to the knuckle compared to like I know
What
it's
does
been a
that
long
mean?
time. Like as in it's
Like a knuckle biter?
no, I feel like subject matter wise, I'm like this one feels a bit too real compared
Yeah.
to like a zombie outbreak. You're like, okay, we're having a good time
Yeah.
here.
Not
But in
like, oh,
this, you've got like people get murdered just in the house that are just kind of hanging out. It felt darker in a way that other sort of like versions of it I played hadn't, but it was still a kind of a fascinating experience. It's also like really beautiful, as in like how the game works is that you have these um large sorts of that's what's going on. You have these like tableaus and they're images, and you can move through the images, so you can go to certain areas and get certain things. But it's very good, and it's a fun sort of cooperative experience. I'm really enjoying it.
That's awesome. I know you know me and murder, so I'm hip to the yeah, like I that's why I liked the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood
Yeah.
because we got a different ending and that made me
Yes.
feel nice for 5 minutes because like it was just like Roman Polanski in general has just had a fucked up life,
Yes.
and has
Yes.
done horrible things, but also
Hmm.
like no one deserves to have their 9 month pregnant wife
This is true.
get murdered in a horrible way. So, ugh.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, because it's like I remember seeing Inglorious Bastards, and whenever like the ending happens, you're like, whoa, yeah, you can do this.
I
You can just
didn't
do
make
it.
it to the end, I don't
As you know,
think.
okay, okay.
No.
They do rewrite history essentially in Inglorious
Good.
Bastards as
Okay,
well,
good, good.
in the way you'd
It's
hope. I won't
okay.
spoil. I won't spoil
All
a
right.
what now
I'll
20
give
year
it
old
I'll give it a
movie.
look. Okay, I'll give it a look. It
Um,
came up. It keeps coming up. I think it's on Netflix right now. And I was
okay,
like,
hey, I think it's a good movie.
yeah, okay.
Like I think I like most of his movies, so I think it's a good one. Um. That's a hot take, right? Quentin
Yeah.
Tarantino directs good
Yeah.
movies, in case anybody out there,
Yes.
you know, tell me I'm wrong.
I'll
Um,
tell you you're wrong.
anyway, whoa, okay, this is the breakup episode.
No, no, no. Are
Our,
you
our,
like are you a super fan? Mike,
no,
Mike,
I'm
Mike,
not a
Mike
super
is a
fan.
super
No,
fan.
no, 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 no.
I think
Um,
we have two copies of Reservoir Dogs.
oh, really? I
Yes.
I think he is great, and I do like all. I think I've enjoyed all his movies, and I think he's pretty singular in terms of the sorts of movies he makes, but I don't think he would be, one of my all-time favorites, certainly anyway.
Did you get to the part of the Sheen documentary where he's talking about Tarantino?
No.
Okay, I'll shut my mouth.
Okay, okay, I'm excited for that. Well, there was a famous thing where Fiona Apple, who I believe was dating Quentin Tarantino for a while, said that
Yes.
they basically spent time with him and Paul Thomas Anderson, and they were like
Yes.
on coke, and she was like, it was one of the most excruciating nights of my life, sort of thing.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, Very interesting. Um, Okay. So do you have any I've I just got thrown off there.
Okay.
I had not deleted all of my notes from last week, and I just saw the sentence, "These robots fuck" again. And it made me laugh. All right, I'm being professional here.
I
Mhm.
have one. Someone sent us a fun animal fact.
Okay.
Scientists point out that a cockroach milk is up to 3 times more nutritious than cow's milk.
Oh God. How much more nutritious?
3 times more nutritious.
Oh, gross. Okay.
And this person was like, my roach. So it's making me laugh. My roach shake brings all the boys to the yard. And they're like, we're going to euthanize you as an act of merciful vigilance justice for your atrocious crimes of foisting cockroach-based dairy products upon this neighborhood.
Wow.
But isn't that a fun fact?
It is a fun fact. Yeah, I like
Anybody
it.
send us animal facts. We will always read them out loud.
There's always
The
room for
more
animal
ridiculous, the
facts.
better. The better.
Always room.
My
Um,
roach shake brings all the boys to the yard.
we need to like come up with like a portmanteau title that includes both animal facts and movies.
Yeah, I know.
I'll get my thinking cap on. Um,
Yeah.
all right. Shall we get into our subject?
Yes.
So
Let's start talking very quickly.
I was gonna say, so based on what Beth sent me, we're both on speed currently, and we're going to talk
Yeah.
about it, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 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 We
Thank
like
God.
too much
Woo!
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, yeah,
Go.
like, no, no, no. We're talking about the movie Speed, the classic from the 90s.
Was it 97?
94,
94. Okay, even better.
right? So yeah. So yeah, Speed. It's pretty good movie. That's my hot take. Another hot take.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was
It's
like,
like,
damn, I've forgotten. I haven't probably watched this in, I don't know, like 10 years. So, quick synopsis.
mhm.
A deranged bomb expert, Howard Payne, rigs a city bus with a bomb that will explode if it drops below 50 miles or 80 kilometers for our our kilometer
European.
listeners. Yes. I did that myself.
Thank you.
It's up to the officer, Jack Traven, and passenger Annie Porter to work together to keep the bus moving and save everyone on board.
It's pretty exciting stuff and a good
Yeah.
summary. I mean,
The
is
summary doesn't do it justice, I will say.
it is one of this, like, because is it like Sandra Bullock's big
That was her big
break?
break.
Yes,
Yes.
that's kind of
Yes.
what I thought. 'Cause that's the
Yes.
first time seeing it and her and kind of falling in
Yes.
love with her a wee bit,
Totally.
immediately.
Everybody did. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
she was like, we can talk about that a little bit further down, but I loved her character in this movie.
Yeah, it rocked and she rocked as well. And
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, like I literally, I mean, like I'm sure it because it feels like a DVD classic, this movie, or even like a VHS classic before then, because like it certainly would have been one that I would, or friends of mine would have had copies of, and something we would have
Yeah.
watched multiple times,
Yeah.
because it's like so, um, it's, and I mean this as a compliment. You don't have to completely pay attention. It's a great hangout movie. You can kind of
Mm-hmm.
have this on in the background if you're spending time with people, and it's like, just check in with some fun stuff every now and again.
Yeah.
It's great.
I noticed like usually I'll be doing two things at the same time when I'm
Yeah.
watching anything. Uh, but I didn't feel the need to like go elsewhere in my brain even.
Yes.
I was just like focused and I was like the name does like it's the per often titles to movies I'm always like I nah I would have gone with another title, but this was like you feel like you're on speed when you're watching it because it's going so fast. Like the
Yeah.
plot is moving so fast that you're just like, like you're literally like buckled into a roller coaster ride.
It does. It rocks, and I think that it is really propulsive. I feel like, I mean, it's one of these things. Watching it now as well, it feels like cliched almost in some ways, but you kind of forget that it was kind of creating almost a new kind of type of action movie, as it was like, so like it wasn't cliched, it was doing something new. And like it was so influential in terms of like what came through the rest of the 90s, probably into the 2000s and stuff as well. Um
I wonder if like Fury Road was like, let's watch Speed and like
yeah,
figure out how to like make this a thing. Because like that's essentially what the movie is like they're on a moving bus the whole time.
that's a good shout. I'd never considered that because like I mean, in Fury Road, they're driving
Yeah,
basically the whole time. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting because they're both cracking movies. They really are.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so yeah, I kind of was aware of John de Bont, who was the director of the movie, and he was one of those guys where I was like, oh, he must have had a massive career. I just wasn't too sure. I kind of was aware of this, and I was aware of Twisters, and sorry, Twister, I should say, not Twisters, which is the recent one. Um, But like he kind of like stopped directing at a point. He kind of stopped directing in the early 2000s and just kind of walked away from it. It was like you can't really make films anymore, which is kind of interesting. We've talked before about the sort of changing of how films are made, the space there is for smaller budget films, yada yada. It's interesting to see that that sort of change was happening that long ago, what, over 20
Yeah,
years or so ago now.
yeah. Like the action blockbuster.
Yeah,
Other than Mission Impossible, like there aren't many of that like that genre and someone I'm sure will correct us, but
like
I feel like the 90s were like I know with this specific movie, a lot of it was really done or was done with miniatures.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, it's like we lament about this a lot, but I think, that was a real bus driving into a real plane and
Yeah.
exploding, right? At the
Lots of
very
practical
end.
effects.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I like things blowing up, like in real life.
it's a good blown up movie, blown up stuff up movie. It really is. It really
That
goes
was
to
not a
plan well.
miniature bus, and that was not a miniature plane.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
Um, so
that's
the
interesting.
so a few other things that was interesting when I was looking at Indiana Bond, which was that well, sorry, he did Twister, which was amazing. I don't know whether I think I told you one of my favorite things about Twisters, which was the more recent sort of
Yes.
like update, was a tweet I saw, which was we liked the movie, but we were sad that a Twister didn't come along and rip off Glenn Powell's shirt. And I wholeheartedly agree with that tweet. The most disappointing thing about Twisters. Anyway, I digress. So, but Jan de Bont, sorry. So, like, he was largely a cinematographer. Like, that was the lion's share of what he did. But one of the things I found out when I was looking into him was that he did a movie about lions called Roar. And in that movie, he was scalped by a lion. Yeah.
Did he win an award, I hope?
I don't think so. Like the fact that
Oh
I've never
man.
heard of that movie says that, probably not. But yeah, kind of wild. I think that like also Melanie Griffiths, who was in it, was mauled by a lion. Like 72 people in total were mauled by or were attacked by untrained animals on the set of that movie.
This is okay, yeah. I'm like oh, that's interesting. So Tippy, it was starring Melanie Griffith and Tippi Hedren. Tippi
To be had
Hedren was in The Birds with Alfred Hitchcock, and she is Melanie Griffith's mother. It's an adventure comedy. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So there you go. So he didn't actually
Wow.
direct that, but he was, I think, a big part of it. I think he was a cinematographer on it. Um, but yeah, absolutely wild. 72 people injured in your film. And like, the way they often say, oh, you couldn't make a film like that these days, and it's often bullshit. It's often some sort of nonsense they're set up for. I literally don't think you could make a film like that these days.
No, no.
So yeah,
Actors doing their own stunts. Sorry.
that's it.
With
It's like,
lions and
hey,
tigers.
get nice and close to this lion. Is it trained? Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Just,
Uh-huh.
smile at the camera. So yeah,
Whew. It's like Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy, indeed. Um, so yeah,
Okay,
hmm
so the screenwriter um was a man named is a man named Graham Yost. Um he there's another movie called Runaway Train,
Oh yeah.
and so his dad was like telling about the film, and he the train there was a bomb on the train basically, and Yost liked this idea, so he came up with the idea of putting a bomb on a bus, um and it had to maintain a certain speed limit in order to not blow up. So he wrote the script, shopped it around. um 20th Century Fox liked it, but they felt that there was too much bus in it,
Too
which
much
is
boss.
funny because like the bus is one of the main characters, right?
It's
Right,
true.
too much bus. So then they added the different ending with the subway. They added like there was like a twist at
Yeah.
the end, which we can get into. And then after that, Fox optioned it. They wanted a different director, and basically, speaking of Tarantino, um, they asked Quentin Tarantino to direct it. He said no. Um, and they kind of like this was around the same time as like Die Hard and Hunt for Red October. Um, and then the script wasn't quite right, and people like actors weren't signing on. So they got Joss Whedon, who did like all the Buffy
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, yep, and all the other, he's I think he's been canceled, but so he was brought in
Yeah.
as the unofficial script doctor, and then after that, then they were able to start signing on. But it was the original cast was supposed to be Jeff Bridges and Ellen DeGeneres as Jack and Annie.
W- Really? Is
Yes.
Ellen DeGeneres in the Keanu Reeves role?
No, it would have been Jeff Bridges as
Oh,
Jack, and then it would have been
I see.
Ellen as Annie. So,
Fascinating.
yeah. And they said no, and the role of Jack eventually went to Keanu Reeves because he heard that Joss Whedon had
I
redone the
see. Yeah, because
script,
like I know
and
he was tinkering a lot, like back then, like he did a lot of that sort of Josh Whedon did a lot of that sort of work.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay, fascinating.
yep, he rose and fell.
He did indeed. He did indeed.
So
Um,
he also wrote. He did a lot of like more TV show work.
mhm.
So like recent ones, Silo.
Oh yeah.
That's him. Sneaky Pete is him.
Okay.
Justified is him.
Oh, that's
So like
justified.
lots of TV show work. So
Okay,
good job,
nice.
Graham Yost.
Yeah, I definitely recognize that name actually. It's probably written on something else that really works for me. But
Also
yeah,
Speed 2,
no,
which
well, there you go,
was
which is
not a box office success.
the superior movie in a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
it had
ways.
Sandra Bullock in it. I think I watched part of it. It was just kind of like
But
I was like, oh, not again.
they couldn't get Keanu back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's an interesting. I am still kind of reeling a wee bit from the idea of Jeff Daniels and Ellen DeGeneres being.
I know. I know. I read that and I was like, that's a fact. I have a lot of facts
It's
with this
it's
movie.
wild to me, wild to me. But
I
yeah,
know.
but that would have been a drastically different movie, drastically.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I also ended like it's been rabbit hole central for this freaking movie, but like I looked into the music and it's by a guy called Mark Mancina, and so like I think that as soon as that theme music kicked in, I was like, yes, I remember this. It's fucking cool. It's so fucking 90s. Like it's like and it's also over dramatic, but in like
Totally.
in a way that and really bombastic, but in a way that so worked for the movie. And I was like, yes, this fucking rocks. Um, so what I started looking into was I was like, well, who is this guy? And he done loads of bits and pieces over the years and worked with a ton of different like directors and things like that. But he was a part of a company called Media Ventures. And Media Ventures was a company set up by Hans Zimmer in the 60s, 70s to like a film score production company essentially. And they are a deeply controversial company just because of the fact that a lot of people and I can understand this, who see that creative stuff should be individual, should be, from an auteur, maybe, you know what I mean, but should be more organic. Whereas this company, Media Ventures, kind of like set up a factory production line for film scores.
Movies. Yeah.
And a lot of like, purists or film people who are passionate about film scores think that this sort of factory line that he built and the kind of people that came out of it make very similar stuff, and it has kind of like been damaging for film score production over the past,
That's very interesting.
right? Like so
It,
much so that he dissolved the company in the early 2000s and Hans Zimmer that is, and set up a new company. I think they're called Remote Control, yeah, Remote Control Productions,
mhm.
to kind of step away from that, which was like, wow, it's not surprised. Another thing that whenever I learned about it, I'm like, I'm not surprised that this sort of thing exists, but I'm still kind of a bit staggered by it. Which isn't to say I really like the score for this. I think it works so well, and I think it felt fresh at the time. Like and it's in so many ways. I think apart from the core score, very sort of like propulsive and also like perfunctory in a lot of ways. Like it's just kind of it's just like action, action, action. Like it doesn't feel like it's really elaborate and ornate. It just feels like it works well for a
It
big dumb action film.
it pushes the story
Yeah,
in a very, very like I don't know, the way that the music melded with the story and the intensity of it, I think
yeah,
worked really, really well. I didn't know anything about that company, and I guess like I'll look more into this controversy because I'm interested. But it's
right.
like, how is that different than ILM and like other like,
I mean, it's probably
studios that focus on like one aspect
that's a good
of
point.
movies, and also you're employing like musicians could work like for one company and like make money and have
Yeah,
like a full-time gig. Like
yeah.
that's I don't know.
It's such a tough one because I do understand it to an extent. Um, I like, and I think that, Hans Zimmer is a good composer and he has like done really like some of the scores. I don't love all of his scores, but I think that some of his scores he's done have been absolutely fantastic. Like some of like the best ever,
He tours a lot. I like
Yeah,
see his name pop up a lot. I'm like, I know, I thought he was more of like a classical composer, but I didn't know he was into movies. That's
yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
I
So
love
yeah,
learning things. This is good.
right. But yeah, so I thought that was good. I say, but um. I say the guy Mark Rossini has done like a ton of other sort of stuff, kind of quite recognizable things. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like those subcultures that you find that you didn't know about, and you're like, oh, there's both a subculture and a controversy around it, and it's like, wow, so fascinating.
I told you off pod that yeah, I've been watching the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders Netflix documentary. Had no idea. Like these women are athletes, and this is like I'm just like going off track completely. But they the first season, you realize like the amount of effort these women all have like full-time jobs, and this is like a passion of theirs so that they can keep dancing. You know, some are as young as like 18, some are as old as like 31, 32. Um, and they do the Thunderstruck dance for the Dallas Cowboys, and it's like it's like 6 minute dance, which is like really hard. And
Yeah.
it's like everyone should Google this and like look at
So
just the intensity of this dance that they do for every fucking cowboy game. That's anyways, but then the second season they were complaining about the fact that like it's a multi-billion dollar, like they're the ones that always play on Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving. Um, so it's like a big deal. Dolly Parton sang a couple years ago and dressed up as a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. I don't know if you remember that, but
yeah,
it was like a
no,
big deal. She's, you know,
yeah, she's massive. Yeah,
yeah, she's huge.
I think worldwide she's probably one of the most famous
Yeah.
people in the world. I'd say Dolly, like
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
right
she
up
has her
there.
own amusement park. That's
Yeah.
when you know you've made it.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, so the second season, they they started to realize like, wow, we think we're underpaid, and so by the end of the season, um, at very end of the season, there was a lot of like lawyers and negotiating, and they were actually able to negotiate a 400% increase in pay, which means
Wow.
that they can actually do that as their full-time job and not be a nurse and also then go to practice
I
and like
I remember some sort of controversy about how little they were paid. It's so funny because like I mean not that situation. Now I'm very happy that they're getting paid, but like I remember going. So I've seen the Dallas Cowboys play whenever I was in.
really,
Yeah, when I was in Dallas with an American company I used to work for, and we spent a week or a month over there, and it was in football season. I was like, if I can get a ticket, I'm going to go
yeah.
because I'd like to
So
see
you did you see Thunderstruck?
I see.
Like the
I'm
opening?
wondering because like
Yeah.
now it would have been
If it
20
was a
years
home
ago.
game, well,
Yeah,
no, well,
I'd say that I bet you that's something that has been going on for a long, long time, and
yes,
it
yes.
started whenever you said it, I was like, huh. it's sort of triggering something in my brain, and there's a
Yeah.
distinct possibility I have seen
Okay.
it.
You should YouTube it when we're done. Anyways, sorry, so off track.
Um,
But it's just like these little worlds and pockets of like how things
yeah,
operate and these women that really just want to dance and like I don't know. It's pretty cool.
it is very cool. Yeah, fascinating. I'm glad they're getting paid well because
Me
originally
too.
asked me at the time, and I was like, they must be getting paid well. And it's like it turns out you working for an organization that probably makes insane profits and they were getting paid a
Yep.
pittance
They were
is
they were getting paid the same as Chick-fil-A workers.
ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
like their entire career, their entire like 20 years of dance experience. Anyways,
yeah,
back to Speed.
yeah.
Do you want to talk about did you find any of it like believable or not believable?
I mean, I feel like it's so heightened, right?
Yeah.
There's something that really struck me, and this may be an odd thing to pick holes in, but there was a like at whenever Jeff Daniels' character was shot near the start of the movie, and they have like a congratulations
Yes.
sort of party with him,
Yes.
and two of the characters were like dancing with their like heads touching and like spinning around, like, and it was just such a, it was such a this is what the movies think dancing is sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It was such a like
Uh-huh.
a really sort of faux connectivity between these two characters sorts of things. So like it, but it works within the heightened reality of the movie, I think, like because
Yes.
it's so ludicrous, like, having to keep a boss over 50, like the fact that nobody died due to the boss really anyway,
Yeah.
like, a couple of times you're like, whenever she hits the prom and things like that, and it's
Yeah.
thank God it's
And he's like,
cans.
it's full of
Yeah.
cans. It's cans.
But there's no version of that. I mean, like, it wouldn't, it would, they wouldn't last. They wouldn't last as long as they did. And B, it's, I I always just find it so funny whenever there's like one incident in a movie, one like minute long chunk that would be national news for, and then it happens again, and again, and again, because like both you see the bus crashed into the plane, the them jumping the tracks with the bus,
Yes.
them jumping the tracks, not sorry, jumping the bridge with the bus, jumping the
Yes.
tracks with the train.
Yes.
It's just like it's like okay, whatever, it's fine.
Yes.
I'm here for all of that.
Yeah. I I felt like, I was like what are the odds, right, that the freeway there's a missing piece of freeway and there's a missing piece of subway. But
So
then I
true.
was just like, you know, there are missing pieces of freeways all the time here.
Yeah.
And like I was just in New York and I was like, they were like, oh yeah, the middle tracks, we're on the middle track now because like, this track is being worked on. So it's like that stuff does happen. I think the most maybe unrealistic thing was but also a very good idea because I was like, Mike lived in LA for years, and I was like, do the buses even go over 50? And he was like, they do on the freeway. And I was like, because he was like doing stuff in the kitchen, and I was sitting there watching this with my headphones in, and like they were on the freeway, and I was like, okay, well that makes sense. And that, but like getting then deciding, okay, well we have to go somewhere where we can just like drive around in a circle at 50 miles an hour, and they were like, we'll go to LAX airport, the Los Angeles airport, and I was like all of the people that would have their like flights delayed and like the amount and like I've been there before where but yeah, it's like likely that would not happen.
Yeah.
But I've been there and there's been a someone shot somebody else and they shut everything down. So it does happen. Like I will say like there's enough reality there to make it feel like it could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe not all the same day, but yeah,
It's a but in terms of what the movie is and what it contains, it all
yeah,
works perfectly. It's all
agreed.
because one of the things that really struck me near the end was how quickly he goes from being furious that his best friend has died to making out with
Yeah,
and
yeah. Sandra
I
Bullock.
it's not like
He was so
it's
cute though.
it was
Like
so good. Yeah, I mean, I was
everybody
very
wanted to make
happy.
out with her. I
Oh,
know.
well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but yeah, but you know that is like perfect action movie logic as well. You know, it's like of course that's gonna
Yeah.
happen. You know, whatever.
Yes.
Move
Yes.
past this horrifying thing, yeah,
That you
and
just lost your partner in a giant explosion.
yeah,
He got
yeah,
mad and he was like, hitting the door and all that.
which is what real men do, as we all
That's
know.
right. That's right.
They smash stuff.
They
They should have
do.
raged. Ah,
I
should have gone
know.
into the air, etc., etc.
Right.
Um,
What movie was he doing that in?
Point Break.
That's right. That's right.
Um, I think it was.
So
Mhm.
I was just gonna move on, but you
That's
think it was?
I was going to do the same actually because I was
Okay.
going to say like I think it was really kind of quite fun going through the boss like and spotting people that I recognized like Alan
Yes.
Rock. It was great kind of seeing him because like I would have had no idea who he was really whenever
Is
I
that who
first
they
watched
were
that film.
calling Gigantor?
Huh?
They were calling, wait, who?
Alan Rock is the guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
Oh, right. Yes. He
right?
played a really good annoying tourist.
He did
I was
really
like,
good.
throw him off the fucking bus.
Yeah. So and it was just kind of great seeing all these kind of character actors, and it was like, and it was nice in that way. You know, it was an unconventional cast for the most part. You
Yes.
mean, obviously, other than your core characters, it was a nice kind of unconventional, collection of
Yes.
folks, which was nice.
Yes. And I liked the connection that they all had with each
Yeah,
other, which I don't know if that really happens in LA because
yeah,
it's LA and people don't really talk to each other, but like that was necessary you know, to move the plot
yeah,
along. There's a sense of community. They want to take care of each other, except for the one guy that was like, pulled a gun and shot the bus driver. But,
yeah.
we all have skeletons in our closets.
We do.
Um, but I really, yeah, I liked all the characters. I would say probably my favorite character in the movie is Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
I feel like she stole the show.
very much so.
Yeah, there's a reason that she's like a mega superstar now because she did a great job.
She did.
She
She
and her
was.
gum.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just. Some of the so I've just been thinking about the set pieces, like, and the one that was really in my head was the bit where they put him under on a trolley and have him like
Yes,
underneath the bus at 50 miles
yes,
an hour.
yes. So they end up driving like this. I don't know what you call them when you lay. Yeah, I guess you can call it a trolley. They like he gets off the bus, gets on the you know, I don't know, the bomb squad car. They put him on the trolley and then like lower him and have him like go under the bus to try like to take the bombs off, which doesn't work, and he ends up stabbing the gas tank, as you do.
Of course,
And then they have to
naturally.
like, yeah. But like, you know, there were like, I don't know, Sandra Bullock was just such a badass.
She was.
Like he was supposed to be what I liked was like her character was funny. She brought the humor. She was tough as fuck. She was hard as fuck.
Yeah,
And she also like his character was also hard as fuck, but he would just get like mad and punch
of
shit.
course.
But he would be like, "Are you okay?" And she'd be like, "No, I'm not okay." Like,
Yeah,
like she said that like two or three times, and I was like, "Thank you." Like it's like I wish that there was more of that from him too, but he also had to be like the leader of the bomb squad. So I get it, but I wanted more like humanity from him, I guess.
that's a good observation because like I feel like that would not have been necessarily typical for female characters in a movie like that before then. Like she did feel more rounded. Like, certainly she had an emotional reaction, but like in you know, a rational way to what was happening, really. Like it was, of
Yeah,
course you would. This is a fucking scary
yeah,
situation. This is
yeah,
awful. People are
yeah,
dying, and
yeah. And
uh,
so for those who maybe don't remember, she's the one that ends up having to drive the bus after the bus driver gets shot. So
yeah,
she's like, as he's jumping around and like laying under the bus and trying to, do all the things, she's she's the one that's driving the bus at 50 miles an hour.
yeah.
Um, so not a job I would pick, but she did great. She did good
She
for
did do a
doing
good
it,
job. She
for
did a really good job.
volunteering to do something.
And
to help other people.
her a great sort of setup, which was, why did you have your license taken away with me for speeding? And it's like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
wink to the camera. It's like,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Little
right.
sparkle in her eye.
That's right, dog. I love it. Um, I can so I've got a few general thoughts. I don't know whether to save them till later.
Just go.
Let's hit you with them. So one of the things that I wrote down was, hey, he has one of those great 90s Jeeps. So I don't know
Yeah.
what they are. Maybe Mike could shed some light on that. But
I'll,
you know
I
this,
will I will ask.
because
Yeah.
this is sort of cheap. I think it's a very US, it's a very American sort of thing. But did you see those in the wild a lot? They feel like the sort of car that only people in movies tended to have.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of them, it's like, oh, that's quite cool. It's like that old trope of people living in houseboats is like, how many people actually live on houseboats? Not many, but a lot of movie characters do. You know?
This is true.
Um,
This is true. And there's like always a murder happening on the houseboat.
it's true. This is it. That's true. Well, it's a perfect place for it, right? Um, I thought that because like I feel on the posters the movie title Speed is presented brilliantly. It looks so good, but whenever you see the title in the opening credits, it's fucking terrible. It's absolute
I wrote down like the opening credits were not it was
dire.
like they were trying to like make it like Batman-y, when
Yeah.
they like they're so in the original Batman movie, they're like on the ground moving around this shape and you don't know what this shape is,
Yes.
right? You're trying to figure it out and then they pan out and you realize like you're looking at the bat symbol and it's like one
Yeah.
of my favorite intros ever. I really care about intros.
Yeah.
That and like Flight of the Navigator when the dogs are playing frisbee in slow
Yeah.
motion. I was like, "Oh God, I like really care about intros."
It
This one was
rocks.
boring. It was so
It
boring. It was
was.
just like an elevator shaft that went on forever.
The only saving grace was the music. The music kicking in, you're like, okay,
Yes.
this
And
rocks.
the graphics were terrible. I
Yes.
agree. Yes.
But it's
Yes.
such a shame because I feel like, as I say, the movie, the kind of like title on the movie posters looks great. It's red,
Yeah.
it's punchy, it's got like a
Yes.
slash through it. It's
Yes.
fantastic looking. So it was like, oh, why not use that one?
Yeah.
Um,
The
I,
marketing teams didn't talk to each other on that.
yeah, apparently not.
Like
Yeah. And the other thing I wrote down, and I don't know whether how true this is, I guess it's mostly Jeff Daniels' character, and I suppose
Mhm.
also Dennis Hopper's character to an extent. But I said the whole thing, the whole movie has a I was one more week from retirement vibe.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, you know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of hangs over it for me.
Yeah. Also, Dennis Hopper's character is the same character as in Waterworld.
That's a good
I
point.
was just like, when's he even gonna lose his eye? You know? Like he was already
Yeah.
missing part of his, it was like just the same. And so I wrote like, oh, somewhere. Oh, like what like the motivation wasn't good enough for me. Like his motivation was, he got his hand blown up or something. He didn't get his full pension. And so he wanted his like $3.7 million pension because he was a cop. And then I was like, well, like motivation for bad guys, even real ones, is always lacking anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Like all the stuff that happens every day in the world, and the motivation is like, I didn't like them, or like, I didn't like what they were saying,
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, so yeah, I guess that was like I wanted more of a reason for him to want to just like love blowing things up
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
loving killing people.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I did you have some fun facts or any other sort of things that you wanted to talk
I have a
about?
lot of thoughts. How are we doing
Okay.
on time?
We're okay. We've still
Uh,
got a bit of time.
okay, so I love there's in the opening scenes the first there's like three parts, right? There's like the elevator part, then there's the bus part, and then there's
Hmm.
the subway part. So the elevator part kind of sets the stage for like how hard Keanu Reeves is and how he thinks out of the box and like, you know, has a different idea for saving these people in this elevator that's got a bomb strapped to it, blah blah blah. Um, and so he's running, ideas with his partner, Jeff Daniels, and Jeff Daniels is like, this happens. What do you do? And he's like, I shoot the hostage. And then Jeff Daniels is like, gets captured and he's like, shoot the hostage, and so he does, and that's why Keanu Reeves' character like gets the award or whatever. But I just love that as like it was well written, and
Yeah.
I was glad they put that in. I love it when movies are shot in LA.
Yeah.
There's just because we watched T2, a few minutes of T2 the other
Yeah.
night, and I was like, oh, it's so good. It's just like, you know, at the very well, this is yeah, that's a fact. But I thought it was um also okay, I had a complaint. Like this police officer is like there's a twist at the end where he's like, put the money in this garbage can, and then you know, I'll get it. And so they've got all the snipers. And what he's done is he's actually dug a hole under the garbage can, so the money just drops down there, and he grabs the money, and then, makes his way out of there. And like he's thought of everything, right? This guy is very smart.
Hmm.
He's, you know, he's got cameras everywhere. He knows who's doing what all the time. But he didn't think that they were going to put a fucking dye pack in the bag of money.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was what like drove him so, to like crawl up and lose his head on top of the subway. Anyways, so those were my thoughts.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no,
of course it's gonna have a dye pack.
this is so true. Yeah, that's a real rookie mistake on his part.
I know.
And the thing that I like that whole, the whole sequence at the end that you talked about, one of the reasons why they accepted it was the extra sort of scene with the train, whereas like it
Yeah,
felt like
it we
it
didn't
lost
need
its
that.
momentum a wee bit. Yeah, because
Yeah,
of
I
that,
was
that
like,
switched to that.
yes, I was like, okay. The twist for me was the whole with the money, but they didn't need to like then get on
No.
a subway that was also like careening out of control.
And I think, the sort of trick with his camera, like figuring out his camera and how to fuck with that as well was really
Yeah,
good. So I
yeah,
thought that there was some really cool stuff in there, and I feel like it felt like such a natural end, them getting off the bus. Like obviously they needed to resolve the Dennis Hopper thing, but it just felt a little bit tacked on. I still enjoyed it. I still like
yeah,
enjoyed it through it, and I feel like that scene was exciting at the end and stuff.
yeah,
Them having to deal with the runaway train. It just felt a wee bit contrived. It's like, oh God, you just got a runaway bus. Now you're on a
yeah,
runaway train.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. But
yeah.
as I say, the whole movie's so heightened anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
entertaining enough. So,
Yeah. Okay, so facts.
hmm.
It won 2 Oscars for
Okay.
Best Sound and Best Effects sound effects editing, which that made me happy.
See, see,
Um,
see for these facts in the future. Let me just, I'll see if I can guess them. I'm really curious.
okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay. Did Sandra Bullock learn to drive the bus or not?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Did she pass her test on the first try or not?
Uh, no.
She did.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good for
I
her.
know, she's so impressive.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you don't have to. Sorry, you don't have to quiz me on all the
Okay.
facts, but
All
like
right.
the Oscars facts and things like that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Go on.
So the scene where Annie takes her chewing gum out of her mouth and pretends to put it on her seat in order to have an excuse to change seats and move away,
Yeah,
that was all improvised by her,
I see.
which I
Uh-huh.
liked.
I liked it.
Keanu
Yeah, it's
Reeves,
good.
like when he's at the very beginning, he runs up to the bus, he's like bangs on the, the glass door and he shatters it. That was
Ooh.
all accident, but they left it in because it was like heightened the,
Yeah.
emergency feeling of it all. Um, this has come up in another movie we watched, and I can't remember which one, but they say a 20th Century Fox producer realized that they might have a hit on their hands when he noticed that during test screenings, the audience members would walk backwards when they needed to go to the bathroom so they would miss as little as
Oh,
possible.
that's cool.
But that was I've already read that fact for another movie. So I think I'm like, what is there must be a list of questions
Hmm.
or things that they're looking for with these test audiences.
Yeah, interesting. Those things in particular. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's maybe a common one where they're like, okay, we've got something here.
Yes. The bus jump scene was done twice.
Hmm.
Because the first time it landed too smoothly. So they did it
Interesting.
again. Um, let's see. Keanu Reeves did approximately 90% of his own stunts.
Nice.
I know, made me happy. Um, Jeff Daniels and Keanu Reeves trained with real SWAT personnel to perfect their movements.
Okay.
So I like that's the part I love. It's like when you're an actor, you get to learn what it's like to be other people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like I'm jealous. So um the watch that Jack wears is a Casio G-Shock DW 5600C.
Hmm.
It had been discontinued by the time filming started, but there was so much demand that the company started making it again.
Well,
The opening credits that I was complaining about descended down an elevator shaft that was created with a 35-foot miniature laying horizontally. This fact
interesting.
I love. The film was released 1 week before O.J. Simpson led Los Angeles police on a chase in a white Bronco after he was suspected of murder. After the
Whoa.
Bronco chase, many audiences who saw the film in theaters noticed how closely scenes from the film resembled the real-life Bronco chase,
Yeah,
including the media coverage and the aerial shots of the Los Angeles freeways. So the
that's
chicken
nuts.
or the egg there, speed came first.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And this is another reason when I was like, I love it when movies are filmed in LA. So at the very end, the subway crashes out of this like work site that they're working on, and it skids down Hollywood Boulevard,
Hmm.
and it ends up in front of Grumman's Chinese Theater. And so, is it Jan DuPont? Jan DuPont?
Yandabont. Yeah,
Jan
Yandabont.
DuPont. So he's a Kubrick fan,
Okay.
and so the crash ends in front of Grumman's Chinese Theater, and they're re-releasing 2001: A Space Odyssey. So that was a nod to Stanley Kubrick.
Nice.
Um, and then this one I think you'll like too. This is my last one.
Hmm.
Jan DuPont helped shape the elevator scene based on, in part, on his own experience being stuck in an elevator while filming Die Hard at the Fox Plaza building in Los Angeles. They were
Hmm.
stuck hanging on the 40th floor and had to be rescued by the fire department through the rooftop hatch.
Fascinating.
I
Wow. That's
know.
another good one.
So it's pretty realistic.
I like it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, this is good stuff.
So
Nice.
this one had a lot of good facts, and I didn't even get to all of them. So,
These are good facts. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, check it out, folks at home.
Mhm.
Uh,
And the
do
ending was just like so Hollywood.
yeah, it really was. Oh God, it was. Like, did I mishear her? Or she's because
No. Yeah.
she says let's. So he says something along the lines of, I hear relationships that start under high pressure circumstances don't work out so well, and she
Yeah.
goes, let's base it on sex.
Yeah. And that was
Fascinating.
the last that was the last
Again.
line that was the last line of the movie because I was like they can't end it on that. And then
Yeah.
they pan away and I was like, "Oh.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh
no. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, like, all right. You do you speed, I guess.
yep. Yep.
Um. Okay. Love it. So, I think before we render our verdict on this, I think we need to get to the part of the show that everybody has been
I
waiting
know.
for,
Yes.
which is Too Legit to Fit. Who had the best outfit or outfits in the movie? I think it's more outfit in this one because people didn't get the opportunity to change a whole lot because of the
Hmm.
circumstances.
Hmm.
What I've just written down here, Sandy B all day.
Yes.
Sandy B
Yes.
all day. Her
I
outfit's
would
so
wear her
cute.
outfit.
Oh,
I
it's so
know, with the
cute.
boots and like yeah,
Oh
it was
yeah,
like such a 90s dress
it
and
is.
like I was like that's something I would totally wear.
But
She's just everything about her, and this is just yeah.
oh, she looks
She's
incredible. Yeah, she's so
yeah,
yeah, she
yeah.
really does. So yeah, so all that. I don't even think anybody else even comes close in terms of like. There's nobody else in the running as far as I'm concerned.
No, no, not
Yeah.
even like what's his name, Alan, whatever.
Yeah,
With
on
his
Rock.
like
Yeah.
camera, and his suit.
Yes.
No,
That
Sandra Bullock.
friggin' nerd. Right. Okay. So, so Beth, what do you say? Revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I get the fuck up, go to your whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
watch Speed.
Yeah, revisit that
Revisit.
motherfucker
Yeah, this is
all
like the one
day.
I'm so far I'm most excited to tell people to
Yeah,
revisit because
I
it's really
I,
good.
I really
It
enjoyed
holds
it.
up really well.
It does. It was risk. It was fun. Yeah, it was like it's of its era, but it was still like a really entertaining and enjoyable experience. So
And
yeah,
it
it's
could have been
definitely
filmed
worth a watch.
today, I feel
Yeah,
like. Like there wasn't anything that like dated it other
no,
than maybe the watches.
yeah, this is true.
Um, yeah, I really, 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 really enjoyed it.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, love it. Good stuff.
We're like we're like getting angry about fonts.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Fonts are important,
they
everybody,
are.
okay? If you don't agree,
Yes.
you're wrong, basically.
Yes.
Um, okay. So shall we get on to our final wee section? Beth, what has been bringing you joy
I'm
this week?
becoming like a real Redditor.
Oh,
So
oh,
Reddit is
uh-oh.
bringing me joy. I know
Okay.
it's like I'm in a like group of whip. I'm assuming mostly women. It's hard to know because it's all anonymous.
Sure.
But we're like, I don't want to get into why we're doing all this. But there's a person that's going through some stuff, and we're following it through the news, and
Sure.
like there's concern, but like what's happening is like we're starting to like just want to like chat about other things. And I think like what I'm hoping, because I'm jealous that you have a Reddit group that you've been in forever, is like that this is gonna turn into like I'm gonna have online friends, and I'm kind of excited about it.
Yes. I'm like certainly with online friends, I've kind of made I'm like a slow burn. That's why like I've got that forum that I've been on for years, and I have
Yeah,
met people in real life from that, but it has
yeah,
been few and far between.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, love it. Um,
What about you?
so it's like I think it's something we've both talked about. I know something we're both enjoying, but Alien Earth has been bringing me a lot of joy over the past. I think that it is. I've been talking to people about it, and some people are like, "Oh, it's unbelievable that blah blah blah, and that there would be that lack security on et cetera, et cetera." And I'm like, I don't care about
Yeah,
those things that much. If a
yeah,
story is carrying me along, if I'm finding the characters compelling, and I
yes.
am like, there are people I hate in that show, there are people I love, there are people like I'm curious to see what their motivations are, and as a result, I can like paper over any of the sort of like other nonsense, and just kind of enjoy it. I think that it has so many cool, fun ideas, and I think it's doing fun things with them. So I'm all the way in,
I
and
love it.
really, really loving it. Yeah.
I have not started watching this because
Oh, have you not?
I've been in quarantine.
Oh
Like Mike
no.
moved into the office, so normally we
Oh
watch shows,
yeah.
but it's like he's got to go out of town next week, and he doesn't want. So I think he's moving back in today. So it's what is it? Alien Earth? What is
Alien
it?
Earth. Alien Earth. Yeah. I thought because we had talked about it because you said you were looking for something to watch
Yeah, and you
with
recommended
Mike.
it. You know, I never listen to you. I do not, and I should more
Listen to
on it,
me.
buddy. Yes. So you're like,
Absolutely.
you need to watch Shogun, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it.
Shogun's so good. I'm thinking about rewatching it. Actually, I've been thinking
Okay.
about that
If
recently.
you start a rewatch, then I'll start a watch, then we can
Okay,
talk
okay,
about it.
that's a good reason to do it. I
All right.
think that like yeah, but I think you've also said to me that you prefer when a show is completely out so you can just watch it all. So like I'll say
Yes.
Alien Earth is like 2 episodes away from being finished this season, so
Okay.
it
We
might be a
wait.
reason to hold off. Yeah, but
Okay.
I think you'll dig it. I really do. It's good fun.
Oh, one other thing that's bringing me joy. The show, do you have Apple TV?
Yeah.
So I've been, it, I've started, it kind of reminds me of you and I.
Hmm.
It's a show called Platonic
Yeah. I've heard it's
with,
good.
yep. So it's Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. And it's
Yeah.
like, they're just, it's like there are no shows about a man and a woman not having any romantic
Yes.
relationships, and like I watched an after show with them or like whatever for the next, so now I'm on season two. It's so funny, and they get into like their friendship is so sweet. So I
Yes.
don't know. I watched it on the airplane, and it brought me joy.
I think you're so right because like it is something that frustrates me a little bit. I mean, like I increasingly love it in like a movie whenever it's like there's a
They
male and a
don't.
female character and they don't kiss. It's just
Yes.
like
I was
they're just
like,
friends.
I thought about that with Speed. I mean, obviously, like blockbuster movie, they're gonna kiss, but I was like, what if they didn't? And they were like, and she was like, no, I'm gonna go to pilot school, and he'd be like, high five.
Yeah, I like that's cool. Enjoy
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so it rocks.
Instead of ending it with like, well, then we'll just base it on sex. I'm like, oh.
Exactly. And I was like, oh no. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think we've reached the end of our show.
Yes.
Beth, can you tell everybody where they can find us?
find us at bendypodcast.com and on the social medias. And if you have recommendations for movies that you think we should watch, and you want to hear us talk about them,
Yeah. I mean,
just just shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram.
absolutely, please do. Yeah, no, we'd love to get feedback, especially on this.
Mhm.
But yeah. All right, folks. In that case, as always, we'd like to remind you to stay
Stay
bendy. All right, nice.
bendy.
All right, we love you, folks.
Love you guys.
Bye bye bye.
Bye.